You're actually embarking upon riding 160 kilometres in the Lake Taupo Cycle Challenge. So who's involved and what inspired this? Why is this happening?
It's actually will be the fourth time I've done it now. For me, it's a great way to help people see the difference that a bit of perseverance can make. We've opened it up to some friends of mine who are also cyclists and some other people, including an ambassador that's about to sign up. We are basically trying to raise momentum, or raise awareness of what we do and who we are, and also raise some funds to help us do the work that we do.
All right, so let's talk about Upside Youth then, and the work that you guys are involved in right now. On a personal level, why do you do it?
I used to work for a church as families ministry leader. I loved it. In fact, even though I'm not on staff, I still go to that church. But a conversation happened to me. We were talking about the youth dramas, the ram raids, the suicide rate at the time, and we had an amazing friend who said, "So what are you going to do about it?"
Nice.
And that question just wouldn't go away. And then I had an opportunity to apply for a job at Upside, and that's how I've ended up where I am, because I love being part of this organisation that does something about it.
And you guys are trying to make a difference this week, so let's talk about that. You've got a special week happening and a special theme of self-belief. So why this week, and why is that theme so important when it comes to young people?
Yeah, so when you look at I was actually a few months back going, there must be a week for everything. And I found out there's a Make a Difference week. So I was like, right, this is a great opportunity for us to share what we do. And then not long after that, I was reading how we're now no longer the second worst for the youth suicide rate in the OECD. We're now the worst.
Oh,
wow.
And a huge part of what we do, and one of the huge benefits with Upside, is that the kids their mental health improves partly because they have someone other than their own family that believes in them. And it got me thinking, I was a teacher at a high school, a very affluent one, and the issues that they had were just the same as other schools. They could hide them better. But when we've been talking to some of our principals, they're saying that the issues that used to happen to 14-year-olds are happening to 9-year-olds now. Like self-harm is now part of Year 5 and Year 6 students.
Wow.
It's something that has dropped down, and internet and social media and all that wonderful stuff is got a huge part to play with that. And so for me, when I see the work that happens with our kids, it's so awesome to see their whole energy, their whole self-belief just lift. And so that's why we wanted to highlight that.
So what does that look like for a kid, though? When we're trying to teach them about self-belief, it's a little bit more than just saying, hey, kid, believe in yourself. They're like, oh, my gosh, you're right. Oh, my life has been changed. I think much better now.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone sort of assumes if we just do something, it'll happen. Yeah. What Upside is we have volunteer mentors who will walk with someone, meet with them once a week for at least a year. Now, I had a colleague, or it's actually a friend of mine, who did this with us, started up last year. He was an ex-teacher like myself, and he identified that this young boy couldn't read. He was about 10 years old, and he tried to show him a menu, and he couldn't read what was on it. So he would call me, like, I need to tutor him, I want to tutor him. I'm like, hold it. You just started out. This is only the second time you've met him. We talk about holding space, being that person for them at that moment. And I said, let's just see what happens. 6 months later, I get a phone call from him, super excited. And he said, you'll never guess what? He's just been kicking the ball around, which is what this young boy wanted to do for like 2 months. And he came to him afterwards. He said, hey, are you good at maths? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay with maths. What was that? I said, I've got this really hard homework, and do you think you could help me?
Awesome.
And he was like, yeah. And so I go, yes! And he sat down with them, he said, for 40 minutes. It was really hard. He could see that he was struggling, and he got him a little bit closer. And I said to him, it's like, mate, do you realize what would have happened if you said to him, hey, I see you can't read? He would have thought, great, another adult that thinks I'm dumb.
Yeah.
How's that for your mental health? But instead, you spent the mahi, the hard work, and getting to know him, and he trusts you. One of my favourite, my old high school students used to call it Fawknerisms, is that people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
I was literally thinking of that mantra.
It's a great one. I love that
Yeah.
one. And I see now he trusts you so much that he can allow you. And of course, basic child development. If a child feels safe and secure, they'll learn. It's the green, that traffic light, red light, amber light, and green. If they're in a green mental space, man, they're open to anything and they're willing to learn.
Whereas when you're in a state of trauma, fight or flight, your body and your brain is just self-preserving. It's not taking on any new information in that space. So let's talk about the broad need just before we talk about how people can get involved. So what are you seeing out there? Like how many families or kids in families that are struggling are you seeing? Like what's the scale of need in New Zealand right now?
How deep is the ocean?
Wow.
It is, in these sort of situations, in our current economy, it hits everybody. I mean, just try buy a block of butter at the moment. That's hard for most Kiwis. But for the Kiwis that are really struggling, that have always had a problem financially, it's real hard. We hear stories of parents who have had to go without food, that the only food they get is their school lunches. But equally, it's this whole momentum that's happening for kids feeling bullied, feeling vulnerable. And social media, though it's been great at setting up platforms, but the problem is it means that when I went to school in the 80s, if I got bullied, it happened at school. Now it carries on afterwards. And it's hard for a young person to talk to their parents at the best of times. But what Upside does, and a mentor is there someone that's able to actually just listen to them, to do something simple, whether it's bake a cake, go for a walk the dog, kick a ball around. It just unleashes something in these kids, and we see so much awesome stuff happening.
So you've got this team then who's looking to ride 160 Ks around Lake Taupo. How does this connect with this self-belief theme? Why are you guys doing it?
Really, it's a great tool to use. We love it because, I love it because I'm a mammal, middle-aged man in Lycra.
Wait. A mammal. I've never heard that before.
You've never heard mammal?
Middle-aged man in Lycra.
Yeah.
That is true commitment, I'll be honest.
This is true, it is. As I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, it's not a pretty sport. I was like, no, it's not. No. But so I really love cycling. It's something that I found enables me to actually just think a lot.
Right.
And I love the personal challenge. And so it's getting a bunch of like-minded people together. Through my friends that I go riding with, they've shared the story and some other people have joined in. So we've got a team at the moment of 5 of us. Last year we had 3, so it's like, woo, big whip. And it's just a great opportunity to help share the message and raise some funds for the mahi we do.
And so if people want to support your cycling endeavour and help support this initiative, how can they do that?
Well, the fundraising page is going to be put on our social media by tomorrow. So if you go onto upside.org.nz or onto our Facebook page, you'll see a link on there, and we'll be able to, you can join up and support if you want to.
Awesome. And just a quick question, because I know that Upside has a lot of different ways people can get involved. If people want to invest their time perhaps to help out, is there a way that they can do that too?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to email me, donald@upside.org.nz, one of our team will get in contact with you. But equally, one of the things we've realised is that you may not be able to, and look, honestly, our mentors range from university students to a 72-year-old.
Cool.
It covers everybody. Anyone who can breathe that just wants to spend time with someone. But if you know someone who you think, man, you'd be a great mentor, let them know, get them in contact with me, and we can tell them a bit about our story and how they can help and make a difference.
Nice. Well, Donald, we're glad you came in to make a bit of a difference this morning as well. So Donald Fawkner from Upside Youth. And remember, if you want to follow along with this thing, maybe just head along to upside.org.nz and you can get all the details you need there.
Yes, guys.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.